Thank you, Minister. Honourable members, now the opportunity moves to members to make their deliberations on the statement. Minister, if you can have your seats again, you can resume your chair.
All right. Ek sal jou microfoon afsit, hoor.
That's right. Thank you very much, members. The first opportunity to interrogate the statement of the Minister falls to the Honourable Ngobo of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. Honourable Ngobo.
Thank you, our Chair. Honourable Minister, honourable members, Nyanbingelela. I rise today on behalf of the Umkhonto weSizwe Party to respond to the executive statement on revitalizing the cultural and creative industries economy in South Africa. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge the significant contribution that the cultural and creative industries make to our economy. According to the South African Cultural Observatory, the sector contributed 161 billion to our GDP in 2020, which represents approximately 3% of our total economic outputs. However, despite this substantial contribution, the sector faces numerous challenges, including inadequate funding, limited infrastructure, and skills deficits. These systemic barriers hinder the growth and development of the sector, and it is imperative that we address them urgently. The Minister's statement on revitalizing the cultural and creative industries is yet another disappointing display of this government's inability to deliver meaningful change. For 30 years, they have promised transformation, yet the sector remains in crisis. In this regard, MK Party proposes that the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture explore revitalization initiatives from other countries that have successfully developed their cultural economies. For instance, countries like South Korea and Brazil have implemented policies and programs that have boosted their creative industries, and we can learn valuable lessons from their experiences. The Minister admits that poor policy coordination, underfunding, and inconsistent implementation have crippled the sector. These are not new problems. They are the results of decades of incompetence and neglect. How can we trust this government to fix what it has repeatedly broken? Artists are dying in poverty. Transformation in this sector is a myth. The Minister's proposed framework for transformation is yet another empty promise. Where are the results? Where is the change? Let's talk about funding. The budget allocated to this vital sector is disgracefully low. If this government truly believes that CCIs are cornerstone of our economy, why are they investing in them? Words without funding are meaningless. South Africans are tired of excuses. They are tired of hearing about plans that never materialize. This government has failed to deliver and cannot be trusted to lead this sector into the future. We, as the official
Honourable member, your time has expired.
You.
Honourable member, thank you very much for your contributions. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to just point you to Rule 234.6, which specifically states that comments referred to in Sub-Rule 5 shall not exceed 3 minutes per province or where applicable per party. Please stick to the time limits and prepare your speeches accordingly. Let's move on, honourable members, and the opportunity for comment now passes to the Honourable Aris from the Economic Freedom Fighters. Honourable Aris.
Thank you very much, Chairperson. Goeiemiddag, achtbare voorsitter. Voorsitter, daar is geen twyfel nie dat Suid-Afrika se kulturele en kreatiewe industrie een van die mees diverse ter wêreld is en dit toon groot potensiaal om by te dra tot die ekonomie en potensiaal om werkloosheid en armoede aan te spreek. Die uitdaging wat in sport, kuns en kultuur in hierdie land in die gesig gestaar word, is egter 'n leierskap een. Want tot op hede het die regering van nasionale eenheid nie 'n enkele oorspronklike idee van wat presies gedoen moet word om die rol van die kunste in hierdie land en hulle ook geen planne vir die ontwikkeling van sport in die land het nie. Daar bestaan dus 'n behoefte om die rol wat hierdie departement speel te heroorweeg, aangesien dit tans nie enige van die kiesafdelings bedien wat ten doel stel om bedien te word nie. Ons moet geleenthede skep vir werklose kunstenaars. Dit is nodig om plaaslike kunstenaars te gebruik om openbare geboue en publieke ruimtes soos skole en hospitale te verf en te vervry, aangesien dit ook algemeen bekend is dat hierdie departement deurgangs nie daarin geslaag het om kunstenaars voldoende te ondersteun nie. Daar moet 'n sentrale databasis registrasie wees waar kunstenaars hulle werke kan plaas sodat hulle musiek en kunswerke aangekoop kan word. 'n Statutêre liggaam moet geskep word om die kuns- en kultuurbedryf te reguleer en te professionaliseer. As die ekonomiese vryheidsvegters bepleit ons dat die uitsaaier onmiddellik kunstenaars se tantieme bydra of beter bekend as royalties te betaal. Maandelikse feeste moet deur die plaaslike regering gereël word wat plaaslike kunstenaars sal toelaat om hulle vaardighede tentoon te stel. Dit is tyd dat die departement van ons kunstenaars opreg ondersteun en die waardigheid van hulle bydra tot ons nasionale erfenis erken en respekteer. Dankie voorsitter.
Baie dankie vir die kommentaar, agbare Aris. Honourable members, the opportunity will now pass to the Honourable Monini, who is the Mpumalanga chairperson for the Portfolio Committee on Community Safety, Security and Liaison. Honourable Monini.
I'm still aligned to the protocol that has been established, and thank you for the opportunity, Honourable Chairperson. It gives me immense pride to stand before this August House to make some reflections on behalf of the people of Mpumalanga on this critical executive member statement of sports, arts and culture. We are, as the ANC in Mpumalanga, proud of the work we have achieved over the past 30 years and are confident of the road ahead after we have once again created a truly united and working government under the GNU. The very fact that this minister is working excellently, making strides within the GNU is a true testament that the ANC is a parliament of the people. This department is given the responsibility to deal with issues which constitute the cornerstone of national cohesion and unity of our communities through culture, sports, and recreation. These are issues without which our communities can perish. Our very identity and uniqueness as a South African united in diversity is drawn from the work of this department as expressed in this member statement. There is no doubt that the national building, social cohesion and cultural diversity constitute an embodiment of whom we are, what our aspirations are, where we come from, and consequently our future. Honourable Speaker, the issues mentioned in the minister's statement epitomizes the very nucleus of the struggle against apartheid, struggle against racism, sexism, discrimination, and domination for which the ANC has been engaged on more than 112 years of its existence. In our recently adopted adjustment budget 2 weeks ago, we can assure Honourable Chair of the NCOP that members of arts and culture has also received some increased adjustment for us to ensure more resources to cater for the newly to be constructed in Mpumalanga multi-purpose cultural hub. Support of sporting efforts as a province, including schools, sports, promote cultural heritage, especially the liberation heritage, and ensure we reincarnate indigenous games as a form of restoration of pride as Africans. In conclusion, Chair, we also have noted and support the tireless efforts by the Minister to work as a true patriot who is ready to work under the ANC-led GNU for the common good of our citizens. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honourable Monini. Order members, let's now give an opportunity to the Honourable Farmer to interrogate the statement. Honourable Farmer.
Dankie, voorzitter. Achtbare voorzitter en achtbare minister, achtbare lede. Hoe geseënd en geëerd is ons as 'n land om 'n minister soos Gayton McKenzie te hê om hierdie portfolio te lei. Ons kan net wonder om hierdie portfolio te lei. Ons kan net wonder wat sou gebeur as hy die minister van Binnelandse Sake was. Achtbare minister, my president, ongeag jou verlede en die pad waarlangs die lewe jou gebring het, het jy 'n liggende donker tonnel vir so baie geword, waar hoop op die punt was om verlore te gaan. Jy verteenwoordig so baie van ons mense daar buite. Jou krag en geloof was binne jou gebou deur die hardheid en die donker kant van die lewe. Thank you for you are and what you mean to us. The creator economy may well be a
Honourable Farmer, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Honourable members, please, it's one thing to heckle and perhaps laugh, but please, let's not drown out the speaker. He's giving important inputs to the country. Let him please continue uninterrupted. Honourable Farmer.
Honourable Rider, the chair may not laugh. Thank you.
I'm only human, Honourable Ginnik. Let's continue.
As jy hier staan, moet jy jou brood verdien. The creator economy may well be a global phenomenon, but Africa is positioned to profit the most from it compared to other continents. This sentiment is informed by a confluence of factors that are shaping the future of Africa's labor markets. One such factor is the fact that African demographics are predominantly made up of young people. Statistics show that in over 40 African countries, more than 50% of the population is under 20. The implication hereof cannot be understated. The burgeoning youth population brings with it a promising shift in modes of thought. According to the Youth Survey 2020, there has been a rising optimism among the youth who are driven by a strong sense of individual responsibility, post-colonial mindset, entrepreneurship, and confidence in a shared identity. Ostensibly, this demographic would be the biggest adherents and beneficiaries of the creator economy. Clearly, commodity-driven growth models are currently not very reliable for our post-COVID economy recovery. We need to pivot towards an information-based economy while working to resuscitate dying streams on the side. An accelerated digital transition will allow the continent to make the most of undervalued and underutilized wealth creation, avenues such as the creator economy. This would be the pragmatic play to make given our circumstances. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honourable Farmer. Once again, spot on the timing. Thank you for that. Honourable members, let's now hear from Honourable Breed on behalf of the Freedom Front Plus. Honourable Breed.
Thank you, House Chair. South Africa arguably has some of the best musicians, actors, and artists in the world. And as the Minister indicated, the industry contributed around 161 billion rand to the South Africa's GDP. This makes the sector comparable to that of agriculture. But the industry faces many challenges, from funding to resources, and more disturbingly, financial woes. The sheer volume of fraud, corruption, and mismanagement of funds at so many federations, organizations, and institutions whose purpose for existence is to help develop the cultural and creative industries and its future and current contributors is shocking. In 2018, Compare Forensics released a report on an investigation done on the National Film and Video Foundation, stating that there were serious concerns regarding lavish and unnecessary spending, and even a hit list to silence any whistleblowers. Just recently, it was reported by IOL and several other media outlets that the acting CEO of the NFVF was placed on administrative leave on July 30th due to numerous undisclosed allegations. Along with her leave, the NFVF Council was also dissolved. In 2020, City Press released an article stating that the South African Roadies Association had opened a case against the then CEO of the National Arts Council for, amongst other things, opening a fake application to the NAC for an annual partnership of 350,000 rand on the South African Roadies Association's behalf without their consent or knowledge. And even more recently, another institution had corruption allegations to the tune of 12 million rand doing the rounds in the media. Former CEO of the Cultural and Creative Industries Federation of South Africa and the Federation's former treasurer were accused by certain members of the Portfolio Committee of Sports, Arts and Culture of money laundering, fraud, maladministration and corruption. The Portfolio Committee has now asked for a forensic investigation into these worrying accusations. Add to this, weak enforcement of intellectual property laws, a lack of resources and opportunities for especially artists in rural areas, and the financial underinvestment in the industry, you have a number of issues that hamper the possibility of growth and even revitalization. But in my opinion, the most important burden that we need to overcome is the mountain of corruption, mismanagement of funds, and lack of resources that exists within the industry's institutions. Many deserving artists are not getting the aid they need to become successful, not because there isn't enough funding, but rather because there isn't enough accountability measures and proper monitoring of these abuses of these institutions. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Briet. Honourable Adrian, sir, if you can now give your inputs on behalf of the Democratic Alliance.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson, Honourable Minister, Honourable Members. On July 6th, the Honourable Minister noted an overemphasis on sport, with arts and culture taking a backseat. As a Democratic Alliance, we assert that cultural goods, language, the arts, and heritage are vital to our humanity. As UNESCO highlights, cultural diversity is a defining characteristic of humanity. It is thus commendable to hear of the push in the cultural and creative industries and how this has the same economic contribution as the agricultural sector. This should be encouraged for further investment in the sector, which will translate into more jobs, which is critical given our high employment rate. With the right support, our nation's talent can indeed significantly boost our economy. I'll wholeheartedly support the Minister's call for effectively intellectual property rights management, but we should also ensure that this also includes legislation to protect image rights. This is vitally important, just as with the fair use rights that the producers enclosed in the contracts. There's now a right that the actors sign away in perpetuity the right to the images with no further monetary reimbursement for that. By recognizing image rights and protecting image rights, we can shield individuals, politicians as well, from unauthorized and malicious manipulations whether in politics, entertainment, or any sphere of public life. Our policy and priorities also includes celebrating all languages and cultures, upholding cultural participation rights, creating platforms for artistic expression, encourage private sector investment, protecting heritage inclusively. Freedom is the key to diversity. Let's make arts and culture central to our national identity, embracing our diversity for a brighter future. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Honourable Adriansa. We now move across to the Honourable Feni, who will give comment from the African National Congress. Honourable Feni.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Let me take this opportunity to greet Honourable Ministers, Deputy Ministers, and also those who joined us on virtual. The revitalization of South African cultural and creative industries is of utmost importance for promoting economic growth, creating jobs, and enhancing social cohesion. The African National Congress at both provincial and regional levels recognizes the critical need for strategic interventions to effective support and develop the sector. The Cultural and Creative Industries Master Plan functions as a comprehensive framework designed to enhance cultural and creative sector. This framework focuses on 5 key pillars. Number 1, supply side interventions, production infrastructure, market efficiencies, demand infrastructure, and demand side intervention. The primary objective of this plan is to cultivate an environment that fosters cultural entrepreneurship and innovation, thereby promoting economic security and social protection within the sector. One notable example of the implementation of this framework is the Mzansi Golden Economic Initiative, which illustrates the potential of government program to stimulate local creative sectors. Though funding of various projects, the Mzansi Golden Economic Initiative has effectively supported artists and cultural entrepreneurs, enabling them to flourish while making significant contribution to local economies. Maxhosa by Laduma Ngokolo is a dazzling beacon of cultural entrepreneurship that beautifully marries tradition and modernity. This fashion brand showcases intricate and vibrant Xhosa designs, honoring the rich heritage of South Africa, while infusing it with contemporary flair. Beyond its stunning apparel, Maxhosa create meaningful employment for over 50 skills artisans and craftsmen, empowering them to thrive within their communities. It is assisting you, Honourable Minister, in terms of what we are raising. Mr. Ngokolo's inspiring journey exemplifies how embracing and promoting cultural identity can lead to transformative opportunities, elevating not only individual lives, but also spreading the beauty of South African heritage to a global audience. Is the brand that esizidla Minister. I think now we are We can also draw example from the Thomas Gala, which is in Limpopo. The gala aims to integrate rural artists into the broader South African art scenes. Through initiatives like Collabo Raps, it provides sustainable employment for creatives in pottery, beadwork, and other crafts.
Thank you, Honourable Feni. Unfortunately, your time has expired.
Yes, as I'm landing, Honourable Minister, you have arrived. We are agents of governance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Feni. Honourable members, it is now the opportunity for the Minister to respond. So, Honourable Mr. McKenzie, if you can find your way back to the podium, please, and you have 5 minutes to respond to the ideas and inputs. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, House Chair. Eerstens I want to thank, I'm so pleasantly shocked that the EFF speaks so nicely Afrikaans. I hope they can also sing the stem so nicely. Thank you, thank you. But I would like to say the very great inputs from the EFF. That's exactly what we want to do as a government of national unity. And, you know, we, as a government of national unity, we do take inputs from the government in waiting forever. So, you know, Honorable Ngobo, it's true what you're saying, what you're saying, that we should learn from other countries. But I disagree, but not only from Brazil and South Korea, but all the other countries have something that we can learn about. But you also mentioned that this government is old problems, this government talks is old problems. I just want to say to you, Honorable Member, yeah, it's not new problems, but it's a new government and a new minister. So give us a chance. Thank you. Then I want to say to Ms. Aris, once again, thank you for those words from the EFF. To Honorable Farmer, very kind words. I love you. I love you with all my heart. If that the honorable member say, why don't we get a room? If that is what he does when other men praises him and he gets a room, I'm not that way inclined. That's how he rolls. I don't roll like that. Then, Honorable Breed, Honorable Breed, it is very true what you said about the NFVF levies and outstanding spending. You're also saying about how the arrogance there of the acting CEO, all of that. I can assure you that was one of the first tasks as the new minister I did. The board is no longer, there's a new fresh board. And acting CEO that you were talking about is no longer. I have now myself co-opted the CEO from the department to go while we are appointing the new, while the board is appointing the new CEO. You also speak about CIFSA. CIFSA has been getting money from the department for years, but never have they reported back what are they doing with that money. This is the first time that CIFSA has not received a cent and will not receive a cent. And I am instituting tomorrow morning at 10 a forensic investigation into what happened with all these monies that CIFSA got that was meant for the artist. So to show you that we are working on that issue, and Honorable Adrianse, you're talking about intellectual property rights, that's so true. And you're also talking about image rights and fair use. Thank you very much. I've learned a lot from your inputs. Adrianse, she's part of the GNU. You are also part of the GNU reluctantly, but you are here because you don't have any other job. Yeah. I work very nicely with Mr. Schreiber, very smart people. Can't say the same about you, but for another day. You should have gone to jail. Maybe you'd have turned out better. But to Honorable Fanny, thank you very much. You speak about cultural entrepreneurship, the Mzansi golden economy. And you know, we new ministers sometimes have this thing where we want to take all the credit. The Mzansi golden economy was the brainchild of His Excellency Deputy President Paul Mashatile. It's such a good initiative that we have to keep it. And you speak about Matkosa. We have funded that brand. That brand is where it is because the department, my predecessors, has helped fund it. We are now with Gullet's Boy. There's a lot of good brands that we are funding, so it cannot only be Matkosa. But you know what I'm talking about. Thank you very much, Honorable. I've got 7 seconds left. Oh, my time is over.
Minus.
Oh, I just want to thank the house. This is my favorite house, honestly. I love coming here. I love everybody except me. Thank you very much.
Honorable delegates, we have come to the end of the executive statement by the Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture. I would like Honorable Nonkoyana to sit down and allow the Minister to sit down too. I would like to thank the Honorable Minister for making the statement and the delegates for engaging thereon. It was such a colorful debate. I think we must have more such debate in the future. And then the next step, we shall now proceed to the executive statement in terms of Council Rule 234.